Hello everyone, it's Alex. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. So today I am doing a tag video. The beautiful Rachael Stephanie here that I have already collabed with. If you haven't checked out that video, I will put it up here in the iCard. She did this tag and created it. It's called Evaluating Your Eyeshadow Palettes tag. And you guys, it has taken me forever to get to this point. I have gone through these questions over and over and over because some of them are pretty vague for me. As you guys know, I'm an eyeshadow enthusiast, so there's a ton of palettes in my collection. But I'm here to do the tag. If you have not checked out Rachael, I will put her link down below to this video, and I tag anyone that does any type of video. Instagram, if you have a nice collection of eyeshadow palettes, consider yourself tagged. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the tag, but first, if you're new to my channel, welcome to the familia. I am an eyeshadow enthusiast, and if that is something that is your passion or you love to watch reviews on tutorials, etc., I would maybe suggest join the familia. Have fun with us here. And now without further ado, let's get on with the tag. So the first question we have is, what was your first eyeshadow palette? I have answered this in the past in a different tag video, I'm pretty sure, but my first actual palette that included 4 shadows and 2 blushes, from my understanding, if I remember correctly, was a Stila type of palette. I ended up getting this in our very first family trip when it was only 3 of us. We ended up going to Baltimore, Maryland, into the harbor, and I remember going to Urban Outfitters, and that's where I actually found high-end makeup, and Stila was one of the first ones. It was a small little book. I can't remember what it was called. It had florals in it. I'll try to find a picture of it. It took me a long time to find a picture the last time, but I think I may have a picture saved somewhere. But that was my actual first palette, where it wasn't just a quad or just shadows. It was like a full-blown palette, and believe it or not, you guys, it was blue eyeshadow. So there has always been my passion of color. The very first high-end eyeshadow palette I ever got was something of color. Question number 2, which palette do you use the most? This one was the one that was very vague for me. I don't have a particular palette that I use the most currently. If you were to ask me maybe a few years ago, I may have had something, but at this point in my eyeshadow career, if you want to put it that way, I just have so many eyeshadow palettes. I rotate them so often to get use out of all of them, to review, to get comfortable with different formulas, trying new indie brands for you guys. So there isn't one particular one that I stick to, that I always gravitate towards. Honestly, I don't even know at this point in time if I am going to do that. Maybe in the future, as I start to no longer buy more eyeshadow palettes. I don't know if that'll ever happen because it's never actually happened. But for right now, I don't have an actual concrete palette where I can say I use that all the time. Question number 3, if you had to get rid of one right now, which palette would you choose and why? I just did, I think it was for the month of July, I do a monthly declutter. So every month I pull out things that I have tried throughout the month that I realize maybe I should pass it along since it's still good, or if they've gone bad. And last month in July, I got rid of almost 6 to 7 eyeshadow palettes brand new from Makeup Revolution. Those were the palettes that I would say in this tag. I didn't hold on to them because I ended up doing a giveaway with them, and the winner has already had them. She's enjoying them as we speak. But those were the ones that I would have said to get rid of. And it has nothing to do with me not liking the palettes or me not recommending the palettes. It's just that I have tried so many eyeshadow formulas that those are okay. They're not my favorite. That specific line that I ended up gifting to the winner were more of okay. I don't even know how to describe it because they're not bad eyeshadows. It's just they didn't wow me. Basically, they didn't wow me. The color stories didn't wow me. It wasn't enough for me to hold on to them. So those were the ones that I would say if I could get rid of them now, and if I still had them, they will all be gone at this point. Do you have a deep emotional connection with any of your palettes? Which one and why? Yes, I actually do, and I still have it here. This is the LORAC chocolate one. Look how pretty this is, you guys. Packaging was beautiful back in the day, and that's okay, they don't do this anymore. But this has a magnetic clasp on here, and then it looked like a bunch of chocolates. These are all eyeshadow palettes and one liner. I have never used this ever. I plan on eventually using them, as you guys can see. This was actually the very first gift my husband went out and search for. This wasn't the specific one I wanted that Christmas, but this is the one he came across from, and it just holds a sentimental value because he actually went out of his way, searched for it, had contacted my sister to try to figure out what is it that I wanted because the one that I wanted was sold out. So this one just holds a special place in my heart. Even if the eyeshadows go bad, I will still keep this box and use it for like sentimental things, you know, things I want to keepsake basically, because that's what this means to me. It's like a keepsake. I've never used it. Yes, I know eyeshadow expires. Yes, I know it's gonna go bad. bad. Guess what? I don't care. I want to keep it the way it is. It's my collection. It's my way or the highway, basically. Question number 5, which palette was the biggest waste of money? Particularly for me, I would have to say is the Morphe Huge palettes. And I'm not saying about the recent ones. I'm saying more of the older ones. I had done a video a few years back where I personally had bought most of the Morphe palettes to see if the hype was real or not on these palettes. And there was quite a few of them that were not that great. And a few that I do remember are the one that was like the taupey one. There was like the 35 taupe, the 35K, which was the coffee one, the 35 warm, the 35 cool. I think that those were honestly a waste of my money and a waste of anybody's time, unless that is the one palette that you just stick for neutrals, or if you like Morphe, or if that is your color scheme. Other than that, I really do think that they were a biggest waste of my money. Not that they were expensive and I regret spending the money on them, not per se. It's more so that they were so repetitive, and now we realize that Morphe is just such a repetitive eyeshadow color brand that they don't wow me anymore. They genuinely don't wow me as much anymore. There's maybe a few things here and there that they've done that I'm like, oh, okay, not too bad. But other than that, just stick to your 9-pan palettes. I think they're the best ones that they come out with. Other than that, these 35 ones is just a bit too much, especially when it's all poop brown. Question number 6, what palette was the biggest surprise to you? Example, that you ended up loving more than you thought or not liking as much as expected. There are two brands of this year specifically that have done that to me in a good way. The first one I want to mention to you guys is Hip Dot. Hip Dot, I did a full review on the 4 palettes, I believe, four palettes that I purchased. I went full-blown review on those. I did tutorials on them. I just recently did a Instagram tutorial on the SpongeBob one that they came out with, and this is the most recent one they just came out with last week as I'm filming this. This is the L palette. This is the most neutral one that they have for their price. This is a $30 palette, and you get a discount if you find an affiliate code. You guys, for the price, this is blown me away. Such great quality. This is like a high-end, Too Faced, Urban Decay, beautiful mainstream high-end palette quality for a very, very inexpensive price. Oh my goodness, I love these. I love the color scheme that she always comes out with. I love the looks, the aesthetics of the whole brand. It's just such a beautiful, this blew me away. I knew I was gonna like it, but I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. Other brand should come to no surprise, you guys. Oh my goodness, this is the Menagerie Cosmetics. You guys, seriously, this is such an amazing brand for me. This is everything I've ever wanted in a brand itself. Super pigmented, super saturated, super colorful, in your face. I absolutely love the packaging, the feel of it. Again, these are about $30, $39. I forget what the price is. They're in the $30 range as well, and this is another brand where you could jack up the price and I would spend it, but please don't jack up the price because I love it. This is just beautiful. It's just beautiful. These two brands this year specifically have blown me out of the water. Amazing. Oh my goodness. If I were to recommend only 2 brands this whole entire year, these would be the 2 brands that I would say invest in. They're amazing. You're going to love them. The quality, everything about them. I love them. Question 7. Do you have a palette you never reach for? Which one and why? Well, we would sit here for about 3 hours and I would share with you guys quite a few palettes that I don't reach for as often. As I mentioned in the past, I rotate my palettes so often, so on a daily basis, sometimes definitely on a weekly basis, sometimes on a daily basis if I'm not testing out products for you guys, but I do rotate them often. I want to get use out of all of them, and this is the way that I can wean out the ones I no longer like, wean out the ones that have gone bad, wean out the ones that I just realized I'm not going to reach for. That's what I do with my collection, with my whole entire collection. I'm always rotating things to see if I can get rid of things, to share the love, have other people enjoy them that are not ones that would purchase things or try things out. So I do like to do that. I could do a whole separate video on my top 10 palettes that I haven't used in about 5 years. If you guys want to see that, that could be a video idea. This could, do a little twist to it, but I have a ton. Last question. Do you have any palettes where you love all the shades? Here we go. Well, I gotta tell you that my number one where I love all the shades is this one. This is the Pharaoh palette from Menagerie. Honestly, this is the one where if I'm gonna pick any, this would be the one where I love every single shade. They did release this with 2 separate shades, but then they re-released them with new shades because the older shades didn't really coincide with the rest of it. So this is the actual newest one that they have come come out with, and I love it. Absolutely love it. I wouldn't change a thing. I love every color. I love every combination I've come out with this, the quality, everything about it. This is the palette where I love every shade. And to be honest with you, this is another question where I want to expand on it and maybe do another video on it, because I have quite a few palettes where I love every single shade without a doubt. But this one, I gotta say, is the one that pops in my head and the one that I would say definitely all the way. So that is it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will link all these palettes down in the description box if you are interested in checking them out. Let me know if you do this tag so I can also check out your answers to these questions, because I love my eyeshadows. I will direct you guys to more videos on the side over here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in that video. Until then, bye guys.